Good morning, good evening, hello, and hi to this week's Fiverific Live Craft and Chat. We are playing the Witchcraft game yet again. I've been enjoying this and it's been helping me get through my project pile, which I am loving. So we do have some different, just one different project in the lineup for this week as I have finished the silver ranunculus. It is done. Um, I would actually like to reblock it. I'm not happy with the blocking, but this is my silver ranunculus. I do have to wear a singlet under it. It is a little sheerer than the ranunculus t-shirt. But yes, so that is where I've gone with. So I'm very happy with it. It's looking very swishy. It makes me swish. I swish around the house in it. I feel very glamorous. I'm feeling very glamorous today. So, Abby did point out that there is ends still to weave in. There's one hanging out at the back, and she's like, "Is that the new fashion?" I was like, "No, I haven't finished weaving in the ends. I wanted to block it before I trimmed it." She's like, "But it's so long." I'm like, "Yeah, it's silk. I like to weave in a lot for silk." So, good morning, good morning. So let's have a look. Kathy nearly forgot about the time change for her in the US. Well, that's frustrating, Kathy. So, but yes, now I just want to just do something here. I need to bring, oh, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. Okay. So, a problem I've been having over the last few weeks with StreamYard, is that there is some delay when the comments come up and go down on my end, and I thought I fixed it, and it's not fixed. It's not fixed. So I'm going to have to, let me just see if there's something I can turn off here. Can I've got more stuff running in the background than I anticipated. So let me just see if I can kill a few things. I need that. I need that. I don't need any of those. I don't know if that'll make any difference whatsoever. Who even knows? Okay. So yeah, so this is the ranunculus. So it's over on Ravelry. If you grab my Ravelry link, did I put the link in the description? I don't know if my Ravelry link's in the description. I have no idea. But the link is available. So the ranunculus is a pattern that's been around for ages. A lot of people are making it really super chunky, thick yarns because it's like this great, big, beautiful, oversized sweater. I've made mine with really lightweight, pure silk because I am in Queensland in Australia and it is subtropics and it is coming into summer here. I do not need a sweater. I don't need a sweater in winter. Like that's how it is. Knitspin Girl says it's a bit laggy. I would double check that on your end because I've got the actual internet connection and what have you is pretty good. I've just realized I didn't run a cord, but I'm just having a look here. No, I think that's all. I think that's good. Good morning, Leanne. How are you going? That's good to see you in here. Oops. There, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. So, do I want to take the time and actually run the cord that I should have run? I don't know. Should I? Do I need to? I mean, YouTube says I have excellent connection. It's more just the issue between me and StreamYard when I'm bringing up and dropping down comments. Kelly and Leanne have both dropped the project page for my ranunculus. Thank you both for doing that. Really appreciate that a lot. Sal's here. Good morning, Sally. Hello to everybody who is here. So I have mail. I received I decided that I wanted to make some Christmas decorations and I wanted to make the Arn and Carlos Christmas baubles. I've made a couple in the past. I hit their website and they have their whole like backlog of Christmas bauble packs for like $7 USD per pack. So you get like 24 bauble patterns for $7 USD. And I'm just like, oh, hello, I'm going to get one of those. So I grabbed one of those and then I've realized I made one with some scraps that I have, which is the Eco Fusion. So not wool, it was bamboo and cotton. And it was so thick and heavy, I just thought this is going to become like a droopy, no matter how much I stuff it. And I was like, I need wool for this. Like, I don't want to do it with acrylic. I know acrylic doesn't work with them. I wanted wool and I didn't have any wool handy. So I actually went and bought some wool. So I hit up my favorite wool yarn store and I grabbed some wool. Do you guys want to see? Let me know in the chat if you want to see. Now, I'm just going to move this. There we go. That is made no difference there. It's still evil and bad. Awesome. Not. So let me know if you'd like to see my haul. I'm assuming everything's running. I can see everything's running on my end. I'm going to have a sip of my tea in my cup today. In this cup today, in honor of the cameras going down last week, I have pulled out my old face cam mug. So I have grabbed that back out of the drawer. It was in the deep, dark recesses of the drawer. And it has the Tealicious, the T2 licorice legs tea. So that should help my throat. And in true beverage goblin form, I also have my tea thermos and I have my water cup. Show and tell. Everyone's saying yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. Love to see the wool. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do it then. So this is the parcel. It arrived this morning. Okay. All right. So there we go. So I was going for Christmas colors. I just double. There we go. Okay. Okay, we'll turn it around. It says, thank you so much for your order. The Australian Wool Store now has a gorgeous shop in front of the dye studio. Feel free to visit, have a cuppa, sit, knit or crochet. Why not save postage and collect your order? Now, for me, not really an option because they're in Castlereagh in the outskirts of Sydney, which is, a flight away. There's plenty of parking, coffee and tea facilities, and a bathroom. Please refer to my website for the address. Groups are welcome. Let me know if you're coming and I'll organise morning tea. And would you like to travel to Japan with the Australian Wool Store? Join us on our next All Things Yarn tour. Now, I've heard about these tours that Catherine runs and I am like, I would like to go. In all honesty, I would like to go. I've heard amazing things about Japan's yarn stores and Catherine would be an amazing guide. Okay, so my yarn order, I opted for the Australian wool, which is not the superfine merino. I wanted something that was a little grippier because that was one of the problems I'm having with the yarn balls. I wanted something with a little bit more tooth to it. So I've ordered the emerald, the red. Which red did I order? I don't even know. Is there an invoice? Possibly not. I ordered a red. There's a couple of reds. I'll find out which red I ordered. But I ordered both, which is probably why it looks a little different. I ordered both the winter white and a cream. Now, they're very similar, and I wanted to see what they were. And there were some other Christmassy things I wanted to try from Arne and Carlos that were used slightly different colors. So I grabbed these because also with the Australian Wool Store, when you pay for 12, you get the 13th ball free. So I grabbed the black in the as my 13th ball because there was a lot of really cool color work on their website that had like these colors plus a bit of black, a white and the light blue plus a bit of black. So I thought it was a good mix for me to have a play with. Jance, I 100% agree with you. This is a good Christmas green. I had been hunting for a decent Christmas green and I could not get one. And I wanted a good red and a good green that went well together. And yeah, so this is it. So, but yes, so I'm planning on making some of the Arne and Carlos Christmas balls. Now they're like you can get the 24, I believe. Now I could have read this wrong, but you can make the 24 balls if you get their gauge with 150 grams of red and green. So or red and white, or the two colors. So I thought, okay, all right, I'll get those. These will be knitted baubles. That's exactly right. Arne and Carlos are knitting designers, so this will be their thing. Let me have a look here. Excellent piece of advice here from Jance. When you finish your balls, run a piece of yarn up and back through the center of the balls to stop it from drooping. So with the yarn, Arnie and Carlos, I don't know if it's Arnie or Arn, I don't know. They actually do that in all of their designs. But with this other one, it was just so heavy that even doing that, I wasn't sure if it would work. So thank you. Sal's popped in the link for the Arn and Carlos. So that is awesome. So yeah. Alrighty. So this is this. I will just double check that my address is on the bottom side. There's nothing else in here. So I was just like, I actually started one. I started one just to try it out, just to see if I was happy. I'm going to be really honest. Color work is not my strong suit, like at all. Okay. Like it is not my strong suit. So I was really nervous doing it, but I followed their video and their instructions and I got a solid, like it came out looking good. But I wanted it in better colors. You know what I mean? And just struggling. Like I went through and I was looking at Bendigo and they don't have a Christmas green. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was complaining to some friends in a group chat and they're like, did you try the Australian Wool store? They only have 70 colors. And I'm like, oh yeah. Of course. I'm an idiot. And so then I jumped in and put in my order. So that's what I did. Let me have a look here. Arnie, thank you. It is Arnie. All right. I should probably listen to a few because I tend to watch their videos and just watch their hands and don't really listen to their banter, which is a horrible thing to say because their videos seem so fun. But I'm normally like, I need to learn how to do the thing. Like, shh, shh, shh. So yeah. Let's have a look here. So I need some craft to do. So let's have a look at our crafting options today. Let's. Oh, that'd be right. I only set up. I'm like, I thought I was all organized. I'm not all organized. So these are our projects today that we have to choose from. I'll confess, I'm still not 100% up to date with the mosaic. So, you know, I'll have to write down the next batch of numbers. I did do some, but I'm not done. Welcome to the, yeah. If you follow me on over on Ravelry, you will have noticed that I have created a Christmas decorations bundle in my Ravelry saved items, and I have added a few things that you may probably recognize, Gamer Widows. So if you don't know how to make a bundle on Ravelry, I do have a video, a very recent video here on my channel about how to organize your projects on Ravelry. So go and check that one out after the live stream. Kelly green is the best Christmas green from Bendigo. Is Kelly green? That's one of the. I don't use classic. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. So if that's a classic color, I don't know. Let me have a look. I happen to have a Bendigo shade card here. Oh yeah, so in luxury, the closest Christmas green I could see was clover, and it just wasn't Christmassy enough. Yeah, Kelly's a classic color. I don't use classic, so I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. I don't like crepe yarns, full stop. I don't like any yarn that's a crepe yarn. I don't like how they end up feeling. Let's have a look. Knit Spin Girls, it is. Is that like turning down the volume on your car stereo so you can see better? Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Oh my goodness. Let's look. Okay, so I suppose I should get some dice, right, to do this, because we're going to need to roll for the roll for the project, but then also roll some extra rolls for me for the mosaic dice blanket. Okay, so let's have a look here. Now the added one in here, so what took the place of this one is I'm currently, I frogged a project using some bunny mink from Eggshell Bunny, and it frogged beautifully. I was so worried. It had been in a bag for years. Like, I can't even, it's got to be 10 years since I bought the bunny mink, right? I cast on straight away with it. So the project has been sitting there like that for ages. Um, so I was really worried that when I frogged it, it was going to be like a little fold or something. Anyway, it was amazing. So now I'm making a cowl, and if I've got enough, I would like to make a beanie and maybe some little wrist warmers, because if my wrists are warm, the rest of me is warm. So I don't need full gloves usually. But if I do, I can always pull a wrist warmer over my palms, so that helps too. Anyway, so this is where we're at. So let's drop down to our, there we go, and roll some dice here. So let's see what we're going to get. Let's move the mouse out of the way. We have 2. Look, we're doing the bunny mink cowl for a bit. All right. Now, if you don't like that the bunny mink cowl has been chosen, you have options. In the description below, we have some rules set aside. For channel members, you can use your monthly membership super chat to ask, to demand a reroll. You can, if you aren't a member or you've already used it, you could use the yellow super chat option, which will get you a reroll. But if you want to go all in and veto and choose, you can actually go for the orange super chat, and you get to choose which of these processes we do next, whether it's frog, vote, or any of the, I actually think that if you're going to pay, I think it's like the 20 Australian dollars. I'm not sure what orange is in other countries, which is why I choose colors rather than amounts. Then you get to choose. So if you veto, it's guaranteed for 15 minutes that I work on it until the next veto comes in. And if you choose the orange veto or the the your choice section, that's guaranteed for 30 minutes. And even if it comes in at the end of the stream, I'll continue the stream until your 30 minutes is up. So before I start this project, I do need to roll for the mosaic blanket so that we can keep up with that. So we need 3 rolls for the mosaic. So we have a 2, which is Morpho. We have an 8. Oh, which means we get to vote. We'll go in and vote on that in just a second. And we have a 7, which is duckling. Okay, so we need to go and vote. So hang on a second. I just oh my gosh, I need to go here. I need to choose 8, the wild card. And then let me move my horrible handwriting. And then we need to go for a countdown. So you need to go and vote. You need to choose the voting for the, what do you call it? So there's a link in the description, or there should be a link in the description, or if one of the mods can throw a link in for vote. Thank you. There's your vote link. So yes, your vote link is in the chat. I may just let the timer go a little longer because, there we go. Vote link is in the chat. And I've just realized I get the creepy music, but you don't. You just saw the countdown clock. Okay. Let's give it another few seconds. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Alrighty, let's go to the vote screen. Oops, I need to remove. Hang on a second. There we go. All right, let's go to the vote screen here. I've got to click show results. Wow, Leanne really pushed the green. So we've got amphibian. So 6 amphibian. So it's 2 for Morpho, 6 for amphibian, and 7 for duckling for this week's mosaic blanket. What is the date today? It's the 9th of the 11th. Alrighty. That can be out of the way. Those dice can go over there. Leanne's exception. Leanne, you really you pushed it. You wanted it, so you got it. That's cool. All right, let's go back over to here. The bunny mink cow. What happens with a tie? We do a re-roll with odd numbers. Was there a tie? No, there was no tie. Okay. But yeah, so when there's a tie, we tend to we do like a 50-50. So where the odd numbers are one number, like if there's two colors in the tie, the odd numbers are one color and the even numbers are another color, and then I still don't get, it right. But anyway, so this is the bunny mink blend from Eggshell Bunny. So I just wanted something really easy and light because the yarn was just so fluffy. Any pattern was being lost in it, but it was also like it's so soft. And for someone who's allergic to alpaca, finding something that's soft and lofty like this that I don't react to is pretty dang good. I'm all tangled up here. What's going on? Where is the yarn? It's wrapped around the needles again and again. Come on. Let's see. Because I just shoved it in a bag when I wasn't working on it without really looking what I was doing like an idiot. There we go. And then, okay, I think we've got it. All right. Can I show you how the mosaic blanket is looking? I can do that. I do want to knit for a little bit first, so I'll knit for 15 minutes and then I'll show the mosaic blanket. So yeah, but it's looking good. It's getting big. It's getting big. So while during the week I'm able to work on any of the projects, not including the mosaic. So I only do the rows that we roll. I am a little behind. I think I still had 3 more rows to do from last week's colors. So, but yeah, it's coming along. I did the 6 rows from the first week's dice rolls. I've got 3 more of those done in, so I'm up to the last 3, and then this week's color. So I'll get there. I'll learn how to catch back up. One thing was I wanted to do this on 6mm needles, but my 6mm needles were in this top, so I'm actually seriously contemplating running out to the lounge room, and actually I'm going to run and grab my stainless steel 6mm because I prefer stainless steel. So bear with me for 1 second. What I'll do is I'll throw the blanket up here. Where are we up to? Oh, I did not fix the camera for this. This camera does not like, that's what the pink does on this camera if I haven't changed it at all. I'll be back. Okay, 6mm needles. Where are they? Are you 6? You feel like 6mm? I'll double check you in a sec. Because I'm that good person, I just shoved them in the case. I didn't unconnect them or anything because I knew I want them for something else. What do I want them for again? So that's where this is up to. Let me have a look. I missed something from Gamer Windows. That project bag didn't even get put out on the table. Oh yeah, you were still sewing it. I was just like, that's mine. I'm having it. Absolutely. Yeah, hello. It was Stormtrooper fabric, man. I was having that. So what have I got? I've got a Stormtrooper. I've got Marvel on the outside and is it Marvel on the inside too? Yeah, Marvel on the inside as well, but different Marvel fabrics. Um, I've got cupcakes, and my cupcakes have a matching cupcake humbug with a little lolly on it. So there are my Gamer Widows ones. And these are the ones I make for myself, which is a little Zen pouch. So it's my little Star Wars fabric here and there, and I've got a little rainbow Yoda for my zip pull. It's my little spindle pouch. So yes, project bags everywhere. All right, what I'm going to do, yeah, that's 6 mil. I'm just going to knit it straight onto the other needles because they're doing my head in, honestly. Why don't you go behind? There we go. Because it's just grabbing just a little, just enough to be annoying when I'm not used to it grabbing. Now, this one doesn't have a pattern. It's not on Ravelry yet. I'm writing the little pattern as I go, okay? So once it's all done, it's really a basic cowl. It's not really a pattern as such. So yeah, I sort of was looking at some cowls and I was like, oh man, I just need something really simple because sometimes the yarn really does do all the work. And in this instance, the yarn is definitely doing all the work. Do you have any yarns that you find do all the work? Looks good, needs more purple. Like I like the amount of purple because I love grey as well. So for me, it's like a mix of two good colors. Um, More coming soon. Just need to get the advent calendars out and a couple more commissions. And oh, that's right. You were saying the other night. If you are a fan of gorgeous stitch markers, and really, who's not? You need to go and check out because Game Widow said that she's shipped out her advents and has, or is shipping out the advents and has a couple of left. So if you thought you missed out on all the advents, then go and nab yourself one of these. Her stitch markers are the cutest. Absolutely cutest. Oh, the blanket needs more purple. Sorry. Sorry. I thought you were talking about this. I'm catching up, all right? I'm catching up. Let me just check to see how. Yeah, it's gone back into the red again. I'm just watching the network activity happen. Um, so yeah. So let me. Oh man, I'm already feeling the difference between the timbers. And look, these are nice timber. This there's the grabbing's just because the yarn, it's a bunny mink blend and it is just a little grabby. And so it's just happens to be enough on the wood for it to be grabbing on the wood. So usually these are my old school knit pros. Like I bought these when they were just, let me think, they were just knit pros. What are the knit pro harmony woods? Now they're knit, maybe they were they always knit pros? Maybe they were something else, but they were harmony wood. Now they're symphony wood. I don't know. There is a link that there for Gamer Widows' Etsy store. You can just click on that and follow it. That'll take you to the Etsy store, hopefully, unless the link's not working, Francis. Um, so I would really appreciate it if you clicked on the link. Because I actually am very lucky and have an Etsy affiliate. So, which, you know, doesn't cost Game Widows any extra than she already has to pay to use Etsy. And I get my 0.1 cent. All the cents add up. They all add up. They all add up. I'm just watching the end to make sure it doesn't just like pop off and end up, you know. in like, yeah. Kelly says it's a single ball. I thought it must be. No, no, it's one ball. It's just how it was dyed. It's hand dyed by Eggshell Bunny. I honestly don't even know if she still does the bunny mink. If she does, you need to get some. I've got a couple of colors. I think I've also, do I have the bunny mink or do I have an Angora yarn? I've got another one in a rainbow that I absolutely just adore. Actually, it's not as fluffy, so it's probably an Angora. But yeah, I've no idea if she still sells them, but you totally need to check it out. Leanne, check the link. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate you double checking that for me. Because sometimes the stuff, you think you've got it all sorted and then it's not sorted. Grandma used to knit me fuzzy jumper and I wouldn't wear them because they made me itch along with being, because you're allergic to Angora as well. So whereas I'm only allergic to alpaca at this stage, so I'm not allergic to Angora or to mink. So I am loving it. I know that Eggshell Bunny has, for those of you that are concerned about mink, this is harvested from live minks. The minks are not injured or hurt in the fluff harvesting processes. So they are well treated, well cared for, well loved, and then they then they get their little furs shaved off, kind of a bit like sheep's in a regard. I don't know how they manage to hold a mink and shave its fluffs off, but the minks are not hurt. They're not killed for their fluff. So, you can pump your brakes if you're about to have a little anti-mink rant. Eggshell Bunny would never ever use anything that hurt the animals in any of her processes or fibers. You can be guaranteed of that. Mink are an animal. You need to Google minks. They're a little fluffy animal. They did get endangered for a little bit there because people were killing them and using their skins for like mink coats and things like that. I always think of minks along the lines of like extra fluffy ferrets. That's what I think of. They're probably not. Oh, someone's written mink are like a little ferret. There you go. I was going to say they're probably not part of the ferret family, but they. Oh, I think they do sedate them too, but I'm not 100% certain of the exact process. So, but I know they're not killed. I know that they are looked after and cared for many years. Yeah, like they're extra fluffy ferrets. That's how I think of them, but they may not be part of the ferret family, like genus. I don't know, because I'm not smart like that. Other people are smart like that. I know their fluff is soft and very fluffy, like super. You can see the halo on this here. Very fluffy, and it's between the mink and the Angora. It is just like touching a cloud. It is so soft. It is so soft. Alrighty, let's just double check. Having one of my needle end stoppers on the end of this would be really nice, but as they're out in the lounge room, I'm really not going to run back out there again. Are they a little ferret looking? Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, they're very cute. They're very fluffy. They oh, there you go. Game Widows has said minks are a member of the weasel family. Thank you. And Sal's dropped in. Here we go. Mink are dark-coloured, semi-aquatic, carnivorous mammals of the. I don't know how to say it. But their genus includes weasels, otters, and ferrets. That kind of explains why they remind me of otters. I'm a bit obsessed with otters, so I thought it was just my brain, because I love otters and sea otters, and I just think they're adorable. And every time I go to a zoo that has them, I have to go to check out the otters every time. I could go 3 days in a row, and I would still have to go and watch the otters because they just crack me up. And I love watching them play and bite each other and play and swim and eat things. The otters have got some serious teeth action going on. Mel says apparently they bite, so they have to handle them with thick leather gloves. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But yes, minks were murdered for their pelts for a long time. Now you can get their fluff, like not their pelt, obviously, but you can get their fluff without murderating them. So I'm all for non-murderation of animals, please, for their fluffs. And while it does leave a little bit around, it doesn't leave as much around as I thought it would, like as in, bits of fluff falling off. And I think a good wash would release anything that was loose, as this is being re-knit after it was frogged. I'm surprised that more of it's not, fluffing around everywhere. Fluffing all over the place. But yes, so I'm allergic to alpaca, and I am not in any way, I don't react to it at all, which I was really worried about it because I was like, okay, this has been a long time since I've used this. Did I react to it? Is that why that project went into the naughty corner? And then I realized, no, the project went into the naughty corner because I was trying to knit a lace shawl with like beautiful lace patterning. You couldn't see the lace at all. Like it was just hidden because of all the fluffy fluffs. Yeah, I'm with Knitspin Girls. If someone tried to shear me without my consent, they'd be biting, they'd be kicking, they'd be scratching. All of the above. I'm just keeping an eye here. Now, if I recall correctly, this was about 300 meters per 50 grams. I thought I had a label. It's probably still out on the couch. Yeah. So, but it was around the 300 meters per 50 grams mark. And I would say I'm probably about halfway-ish through the cowl. And do I have scales handy? I have scales so we can see. I mean, yeah, probably a little on the short of half, but getting close there. And there's 27 grams of yarn left to go. Oh, also, hang on a second. When I frogged it, I did lose this much. So 33. Because it's snapped. It's nearly 35 grams. Nearly 35 grams left. No, wait. Hang on a second. What's going on? Go to 0. Nearly 33 grams. So, yeah. And I have a whole other ball as well. I had 2 balls. So, I'm hoping that there's enough for a beanie as well. Let's have a look here. Otters are super cute. Yes, I 100% agree. Disgruntled Toast, welcome to the chat. Hello, I'm new to crochet. Just started about a month ago. Glad to be doing it with someone. Absolutely. We have lots and lots of fun here doing all sorts of crafts. The only real thing that holds the crafts together is they're all yarn crafts. So we knit and we crochet and we spin and we do all sorts of fun things. And we natter, we chat while we're doing it all. So, yeah. I'm very happy to be switching back over to my stainless steels here. Let me tell you. Oh, Eggshell has some bunny mink. Oh my goodness. Wow. Then you need to go and have a look and see if those colors are for you. Because it is gorgeous to work with. Very fluffy, very warm. Super lightweight. because I will totally get a cowl out of under 50 grams. So on my 6mm needles, I think I started with about 271, 273. It's an odd number, around the 270s, but in an odd number because I did a moss stitch there. Moss stitch, or did I just do straight? No, I just did, yeah. I didn't do moss stitch. I just did a couple of rows of knit, then joined it in the round after I'd done the 3 or 4 rows of knit, and then just working round and round and round and round and round. And then when I want to end it off, I'll do my 3 or 4 rows of knit and cast that off. And that's the whole plan. That's the plan for this particular project. Here we go. I'm like, dude, what are the colors? Like, do I? No, I don't want to order any more yarn. I don't. Alrighty, so let's move these timber bad boys to the side. Put me back in the project bag. Alrighty. I've twisted it. Really? Oh no, I nearly had a heart attack then. That's fine. It's fine. I thought I'd twisted it, but it was actually just flipped on the needles. I'm just double checking. Yes, it was just flipped on the needles. It's all good. Like, you'd think I would have noticed that before now. It's fine. I nearly had a heart attack. It's all good. I'm making a slouchy beanie for my mother-in-law. It'll go with the scarf I just completed. That is awesome. I love that. Oh, absolutely. Leanne has popped in a link to the Fibrific Fun Zone. It's a free Facebook group you can go and join where you can share photos of the projects you're working on, get encouragement, ask questions. Lots of creative and crafty people in there who are always working on something or other. But if you want to be talked out of buying yarn, it's not the place to go because we're all yarn addicts over there. We're like, yeah, oh, you need yarn for a project? Sure, you should totally buy it. We're bad people. We're bad people. Oh, Francis, absolutely. Look, I'm using a fluffy yarn, but you don't have to use a fluffy yarn. You know, I'm using the 6mm needles because the yarn's so fluffy. If you used a 6mm with, like, say, a DK or a worsted weight yarn, then it would still totally work. So, you're not limited to fluffy yarns, but because, like, I honestly probably, unless you absolutely really are dying to try it, I would say if you're just beginning and just learning, you want to be practicing on something a little less fluffy, because sometimes it can be a bit of a bear to get the stitches out if you have to undo it. Also, if you drop stitches, they're really hard to see and find. Carrie says, next year I want to knit a cow twisted on purpose called Harmonious Rings. It's a textured Mobius. Yeah, look, Mobius is different than just a twist, So, like, the intentional Mobius is different than just twisting. So, I've made a Mobius. I like the Mobius. It's a very interesting way to start. Once you've started, you just keep going, but it's got an interesting way to start, and that sounds like it would be very nice to try. I love yarn. Unfortunately, I don't have Facebook. If you have a Discord group, I'd be happy to join. Look, technically there is a Discord, but do we ever use it? No. Should we? Probably. I could get over there. It would give me a good place to practice some new Discord skills I've been honing and learning for some other areas that I work in. I'll see. We'll see. I'm not making any promises. I've got quite a lot on my plate at the moment, so I don't want to add anything too stressful. But there is a Fibrific Discord server. It exists. I'm practicing on DK and some DK hands. Oh, that reminds me. I plied up the purple. It still needs a bath. It's about 300, 350 yards, thereabouts. So this is the Beersheba Castledale in Robin's Gift. For some reason I was saying Robin's Egg. It's Robin's Gift. And so this is how it's looking all spun up. It'll settle down a little bit once it's had a bath, but you know, it's looking all good. There are a few of us that are very, very enabling, not pointing at anyone in particular. Leanne, I'm having one of those fingers as pointing at yourself, honestly, because you're terrible. You're terrible, Muriel. Get in there and, you know, everyone's pretty good, honestly. Yeah, no, we do have a Discord server. It's just totally unused. That's all. I think a few people joined it. I haven't even been in to look at it in ages. So I should go in and have a play. Oh, the color is divine of the Robin's Gift. I know that you can still get it over at Beersheba. And if she doesn't have any, she can custom dye it for you. So definitely worth looking into. I've got my next wheel spin picked out. It's another Beersheba. It's in a beautiful blue. Which I can't think of the name of it, but it's a mottly blue. I love it. But I would like to finish off some of these projects that I've started, plus also some Christmas projects that I want to start that I probably should have started months ago but did not. So, you know, whoops is the answer to that. Whoops. I can tell you the difference in knitting this on the stainless steel versus the timber is worlds apart. It's sliding so much easier. I mean, yeah, this is a bit shorter, so they're a bit more crushed on. I could probably grab a longer cable, but, you know, I'm happy enough. It's still a little grabby. Like, this yarn is quite, it's a little grabby. I don't know if it's because it's like, I mean, it's fluffy, so, you know. But I would have thought that would have made it slide better. But we'll see. It slides off when I'm knitting it fine. It's just more when I'm pushing the stitches onto the needle to knit them off that I notice. So, yeah. A link for Beersheba Farm. Yeah, a link would be great if you could find one. I think she's like a beershebafarms.com.au maybe, or maybe she's a .com. I can't remember. Hello, Abby. Abby's floating around. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have a sip of my drink too, actually, because I think my tea's going cold. Oh, Holly, yes, I meant to mention that. I was going to pop a link in over in the over on the Fibrific page and in the fun zone. So if you are intending to hit the knit picks, hang on, I'm just topping up my tea with the hot tea. Please consider using the Fibrific link for that. But yeah, they're having like a huge sale. I think, what did they say? I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I will add a link over in the fun zone for that after the stream is over. Add knit picks link. I was going to do it beforehand and then got sidetracked and then didn't do it. Oh, there's a Facebook page for her as well. There you go. So what are you all working on in the chat? I'd love to know. Yeah, it's up to 60% of some yarns. They haven't specified which yarn, so you'd have to go and check out which ones you want. Oh, thank you so much, Kelly, for my Knitpicks affiliate link. I appreciate you popping that into the chat. Absolutely. And you know, like if you're in the US and in Australia, Knitpicks actually has like a certain point, like it's different for both countries, where you order up to a certain amount and then you can grab like free postage. But even to Australia, their postage isn't terrible unless excuse me, unless you buy books. So yeah, there's always that. The books always get the postage up through the roof because the books are heavy. Let's have a look here. So Francis is chain plying some natural grey merino Corriedale blend. It's turning out lovely. Oh my gosh, can't wait to see that in the fun zone. Chintamani is working on second socks. Becknick's working on her Ardith blanket. Amanda, it's good to see you, is working on her bobble blanket. Kerry's winding mitts in Jameson's. I'm not quite sure what that is. Red Hooked is currently working on 2 different ponchos. Holly said that she was missing crochet because you're having fun adventures in knitting at the moment. But I understand missing crochet, absolutely. And so you started the Viking braided shawl. That sounds amazing. Knitspin is knitting a second sock. The part I love the least is the heel gusset decreases. I'm actually onto heel turns for 2 different pairs of socks right now, and I'm not enjoying the heel turning, and I will enjoy the gusset decreases even less. So yes, I'm currently making the knee-high socks, which we've got as an option here, but I'm also making some cotton spandex socks. And they're on double pointed needles, and yeah, they're both up to about the same point. I think it could be because I put one down to start the other because I'm like, I don't feel like doing a heel turn right now. And now it's like, okay, now you've got no choices. Must do the heel turn. Oh, Kerry's popped a pic in the fun zone. Excellent. Jance is cutting out cutting out a quilt for a Christmas wall quilt. Oh wow, that sounds beautiful. Kathy's still working on her winter white blanket. No, you should never go to the gym when you're feeling unwell. Sorry, Abby's home, so she's popping in. Disgruntle's working on a puff stitch slouchy beanie. That sounds gorgeous as well. Waiting for my swatch to dry so I can start my knitted vest. Well, and that's the thing for me. I'm going to have to add in another project, which will be, I've got more of this silver silk and I want to make a singlet to wear under the silk top. Christina says, a blanket in the round in mosaic, the Valletta de Luna. That sounds amazing. A mosaic in the round. Gorgeous. Jameson and Smith is a brand of Shetland wool used for Fair Isle, often from sheep of Shetland Island. That sounds very nice. See, they would have like little grabby fibers, a little bit of tooth, so they would hold together beautifully for color work. That's what I reckon. Leanne is working on lots of Christmas makes. Nice. Oh, is it Valley de Luna or Valletta de Luna? I don't know. But yes. Oh, it's the Valley de Luna. That's an unusual autocorrect there for the Valletta. Gosh. The camera's made my hands look quite yellow today, hasn't it? let me jump in here and see if I can fix that up a little. Let me look. There should be a spot I can. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's audio, that's that. Not handy. No, not handy. Holly, you have used your member chat to show that you're a member for 24 months. Oh yes, you've got another message in here. You want to use your role for a new project. Okay, let me just use up a couple of stitches here of yarn that I just pulled out. It is not. She's just used a member chat. All right. But it's not letting me bring it on screen, which is frustrating me right now. Alrighty. Let's have a look. That's big there. So that one's not showing at all. All right, Holly, I can see it. For some reason, it's not letting me bring it on screen, which is frustrating. But let's re-roll. So let's bring in our screen with our options. And we will use, which I don't remember which dice we used first. So we have got a re-roll coming in. So let's have a look at what happens next. It's number 5. It is the knee-high socks. Okay. So let's bring out the knee-high socks. They're on a heel turn. Grr. Yep, good job. All right. Come on. Hide that. There we go. All right. We're doing our 2 at a time socks. I'll have to grab the pattern out so that I can follow the heel turn. Are you the ball that's not connected? You are. In you go. Let me grab the pattern. Bye, Abs. Let's have a look for the pattern. I've got my pattern is currently living on Knit Companion. So let me go. Here we go. All right. What? Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, please. Tuna. Yeah. Yeah. Abby's planning lunch. I'm having sushi for lunch apparently, so I'm very happy about that. Alrighty, let's detangle here briefly. Oh, timer set. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, the heel turn, you're right. The heel turn on this one is easy, but I do have to keep track of what we're doing. So, yeah. I just need to, OneDrive is open and I need to see why. Quit OneDrive. There we go. That might help us. It may not. Okay. Holly was said, oh, you were hoping for Abby's blanket. I will tell her she's actually just gone out. So, but I will tell her that you were hoping for her blanket. Is that's left? That's right. Okay. The reroll, hide, and just having a thing here. Yeah, hoping for Abby's blanket. Yeah. Let me just double check where I'm up to. Okay. What did I do there? I think I need to set up my whips and number them and change them when you do. Ah, that would be a fun game to play at home as well. Jennifer Grasso, great to see you in the chat. Yeah, you guys can make it fun too. This is like a way that I'm actually getting through. I've probably got a few more projects on the go that I'm comfortable with right now because there's actually more than what's on our list. And I really am not comfortable with having that many projects on the go, and there's about to be more. So I'm finding this to be a really good way to sort of rotate them through a little bit. So every project gets a little bit of love. Except for Abby's blanket, according to Abby. It doesn't get any love. All right, we need to get to nearly the end. And then we... Oh, I think I did the make one the wrong way before. Try again. There we go. Little tiny stitches. Try again. I need to come in the back. There we go. Alrighty. I'm like, I hate these make one rights. I really hate make one rights a lot. I'm going to try again. I think I split this stitch. Okay. That's what it is. I don't care if that's right or not. That's what that one is. Okay? That's it. All right. Let me change yarn to make sure we're working on the correct yarn for the correct sock. And it's make one left first. Okay. So knit one. Make one left. So like make one left. Make one left I'm fine with. Make one right's not so much. Alrighty. Anyone else use DPNs or the crazy bendy 3 needle sock needles? I prefer them to circulars. I use DPNs as well. I've got another project that's running with DPNs. When I'm doing 2 at a time socks, I like to do long circulars. It just depends on what I'm doing. I don't hate anything. I haven't tried the flex and flips or any of those sorts of ones. They look interesting to me and I'd be very curious to have a go. I do intend on purchasing some just to have a play with and see how I go. I am loving, I bought the collage square needles, absolutely loving those as DPNs. I surprised myself. I honestly thought, oh, these will be a bit of a gimmick. Nope. I love them. Not a gimmick because it's true love, right? Let's get um, well, that one was easier, wasn't it? Um, how many? I prefer the 5. So 4 for the circle and then 1 extra. So some people use 3 and then 1. I prefer 4 and then 1. But everyone likes different things and they're not incorrect. It's just different. I remember the first set of DPNs I got, they only had 4 in them. So I just assumed it was always 3 and 1. And then I started seeing things where people had 4. And I'm like, how can you have 4? I only got 4 in the set. I don't have one to knit with. And they were like, oh, you must have bought cheap ones. And it's like, oh, I did. Yeah, they were cheap. I definitely prefer getting 5 DPNs. I know sometimes some companies actually pop in a 6th. So if you're using particularly fine ones that are wood, they'll pop in a 6th one as a bonus. And I really like those. I like it when they do that as well. So it's more so that if you break one, you're not down. So I like that. Let's have a look here. Knitspin Girl says, I don't mind make one right. It's nups I hate, or noops. Um, yeah, look, they're not my favorite either. They're certainly not my favorite. But I do like the different things. What about the square needles do you like? I don't know. They just feel good in my hands, honestly. That I enjoy using them. The stitches don't seem to fall off. Like I struggle with a little bit with DPNs with stitches sliding off. They don't seem to slide off, except it's still just as slippy to use to work with. Um, I, I don't understand the logic. There probably is no logic, but I definitely enjoy those. Let me just I'll just show you briefly what I'm talking about. I'll get back to the sock, I promise. So these are the square ones that I'm using at the moment. So I've just got that one tucked in just so I don't lose it. But they just sit really nicely in my hand. And and I particularly like the blue ones. Like I'm using the grey ones right now, but I bought a mix of the blue and the grey. I like the blue ones because it's really easy to read what's on the needle. So it's really simple to see, except for if they're tiny, you know. Sometimes tiny is just tiny and there's nothing you can do about it. But usually, like with the bigger ones, you can see really easily and read them, and they've got markings on them so that it's really simple to see what you've got. Just there's lots of things I like about it, and I know not everybody will like them, and that's okay because we're allowed to like different tools. We really are. But I definitely thought they were worth a go. Then they are a bit on the pricey side, especially considering I did have to order them from Canada, and post from Canada is just as bad as post from Australia. It's horrendous. But I ordered 3 sets. I felt less guilty about the post when I ordered 3 sets, and now I'm like wishing I had have ordered more. So, yeah. Nispin Girl says I don't like those flexi flip things. 2 circs all the way for me. Yeah, look, I like the idea of 2 circs, but I also like the idea of the single circ because it's just like you never everything's always connected, if that makes any sense. It's all connected. So I don't feel like I can lose anything or forget it or you know what I mean? Like I'm queen of forgetting things. So making sure that it's always connected means that I can't forget it and leave it behind because it's currently connected. Um yeah, like stuff that's different from someone else's? Sacrilege. I know, I'm a strange ranger. I'm very complex. Um Very complex indeed. You go over there. I'm just doing some untwistings. There we go. It'll twist back up in just a second. Um, The other thing that I'm a little like this pattern does a little bit differently is I'm used to doing all of the like the heels and stuff on the back side, whereas this is all on the front side or like the first side, if that makes any sense at all. Don't lose your stitch. There we go. Got our make one left in. Let's have a look what else is. I need the arc. I need the cam. Creative Cloud. Let's quit it. Oh, Louie, it's okay, buddy. Just seeing. Yeah, it is a bit of time for a hand stretch. All right, I'm back. Yep, purple screen of doom. I'm back. StreamYard dumped me out again. That's last week and this week. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on there. I am expecting things to do a bit, but I didn't think I was asking too much. Let me just double check microphone settings and everything are all correct. Audio, camera. Yep, we're all good. Okay. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. All righty, go across to a make one right. Yeah, we're nearly there. I'm just like double checking. It's like I have to do these increases every round. And it's a bit trickier doing the make ones every round. I find like finding the little leg is a little trickier. I'm like, am I sure that I do it every round? And the answer is no. I just reread the instructions. Just keep going. Round one, there is a round two where I knit across all the stitches. So I'll do a round two here. Like an idiot. It helps if you read all the instructions when you're working from a pattern. You know? Like, yeah. That should make it easier to find the little leg I was just complaining about, wasn't I? Oh, look, the thing you're complaining about because you're not supposed to be doing it that way because you're an idiot. Follow the actual written pattern that's right next to you that you can read with your eyeballs. Oh, good point. Hydration time, everybody. I shall also have water. Okay. Goodness me. Kelly, you've made these. You've done this bit. Why didn't you tell me I was doing this bit wrong? Goodness me. What kind of friend are you? Totally throwing Kelly under the bus. And we'll just knit right across. And it'll make life easy for next time. Beep. There we go. And come on, one more. Woot woot. Okay. Everyone can see and hear and everything now that I'm back? Just double checking. You know, when I first started working on these socks, I thought there's no way I'm going to get a knee-high sock out of 100 grams of yarn, let alone 2, right? I'm beginning to 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 doubt that. I'm beginning to think that yes, while I may not get a knee-high sock out of 2, I'm going to get some very long socks out of 2. Amanda, thank you. And Sally as well. Thank you. How easy is the magic circle? So, as in the magic looping for this particular thing, I find to be very easy. It's a little fiddly when you're first setting it up from the toe up sock, but it is literally fiddly for the first round. Just making sure you've got everything in the correct order. There's some great YouTube tutorials for how to do it, which I actually follow one every time. I'll see if I can grab a link to it. It's not the best video in the world, but geez, it's clear and it shows me what I need to remember, the thing I always forget. So definitely worth checking that out. But I prefer doing the 2 at a time because I am a serious second sockitis person. I get second sock syndrome dreadfully. So if I don't do the 2 at a time, the chances of me finishing a second sock is very low. So whereas, the big fat cotton ones I'm doing on DPNs, but I really want them. So, I really want everything I'm making, but there's levels of want. Never done toe up. Is it easier than cuff down? I don't know if it's easier or harder. It's just, it's different. But the thing I love about a toe up sock is that you get to try it on as you go. You get the perfect size sock. And you get to use up every millimeter of yarn. You don't have to sort of guess at how much yarn you need left over to work out the length of the sock or have wastage or anything like that. So having that over there is definitely my preference. Let me just double check I'm still in the back here. Amazing yacht destinations. Oh, you're a champion. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And I love seeing you over on the other lives as well. I think it's wonderful. You help people as well. So thank you so much for that one. Yeah, it's a super chat. Oh, I've got a button. I've got a button and I can use it. Oh my goodness, where is it? I have a button. I made a thing. Thank you for your super chat. I should be using that more often. I forget that because I'm bringing Ecamm into StreamYard, then it is possible for me to use my buttons. I tend to get second sock syndrome and I don't tend to get second sock syndrome, second sleeve syndrome, however. Yeah. I've struggled with this one, getting both sleeves done. Vampire. Oh my goodness. Waffle stitch blanket, please. Love the colorway. Abby is going to be so excited. She really is. And look, I can do. Thank you for your super chat yet again. Thank you. I will. Okay, where are we at time-wise? We did 20 minutes on those, so we can totally roll over to the next. Where am I up to? Okay, cool. That's the timing of that was really good. I like to finish my socks. If I have a preference, I like to finish it at the beginning of the first round of the repeat, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And this is the perfect point for me. So thank you so much for that. I will grab this. That's the right bag. Pop those in here. So now we'll need to work on Abby's blanket for the next 30 minutes, which she will do a dance about. There we go. One blanket. Don't drop on the ground. Okay. Things falling everywhere. Alrighty. Now, because I'm super clever, I think I just tucked the hook and the yarn in like that, like so. Oh, wait a second. Oh, we had to join on a new ball, didn't we? Where am I at? I did. I've got to run and grab the rest of the yarn because this is the wrong ball to join on. I'll be right back. I will do this one. There you go. You get a different be right back. Hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, so I'm back. This is my other Star Wars project bag. This is my big one my friend Kim made for me many, many, many moons ago. This is holding an absolute pile of yarn. So I'm looking for blue, then brown, then white. Blue, then brown, then white. Look at that. There's how many... I don't want to think about how many balls are still in there. We've still got lots to go on Abby's blanket. Alrighty. Now I might be changing to the lighter blue a bit earlier than usual, but it'll be alright. Okay, sorry. Did I? I don't think I did the join properly. Try again. I didn't do enough stitches, so. Alrighty, we're off and we're racing. We've got our new color joined. And here we go. Was the be right back screen too loud or was it alright? It's a new one. I made it. I had fun making it. Yay for the waffle blanket, which is perfect. Abby will be so excited. Oh, not too loud. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Christina. Pop the dice over the thing so I don't lose them under the blanket. All right. Let me go here. You know, I would say that my brain does a little hiccup every time it's time to change a project. It's just like, project change. And my fingers like, what are we doing? Are we knitting? Are we like thick yarn, thin yarn? What's going on? So now we've gone from knitting sock weight yarn to crocheting worsted weight yarn. The volume was good. Excellent. Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate that. It was sort of, I think it was it its first test run? I think is its first test run. I had it there last week, but I don't think I used it. Let's have a look here. So huge thank you to those of you using your members chats and your super chats and getting involved and having fun with this. I very much appreciate it. It makes it a bit more fun. I mean, I would quite, I could happily either work on one project for the entire stream or switch them around as you guys see fit. But this one we'll be working on this now for half an hour. So I think we started a few minutes ago. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on the time. So please remember that if you decide to try and do a veto roll or something like that, this one goes for a little bit longer. Oh, I think Sue might be a little bit behind in the chat. She's got the purple screen. She'll catch up. Oh, all good. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. The purple screens are a little stressful, but at least it looks cute, right? At least it looks cute. And that's one of the huge advantages of actually using this software, is when it does do a little crash and burn, that it sorts itself out. But I would like it to stop, honestly. And I think it might be on my end. I'm not 100% certain. But we'll see. We'll see. Purple screen is the new face cam. I mean, that could be a cute cup. Just that image all over a cup. No writing, nothing. Just that purple sort of square stuff. That could be super cute. Just having that background as just as the artwork. Don't know if I'd be allowed to do it. I didn't design it, so it's not my artwork. Yeah, I'm like, that's why the old face cam cup is back out. If you like the cups that I use, they are available over on Redbubble. There's some fun fibrific merch you can get over there with, the hedge of ninjum or totes or zipper pouches, all sorts of cute things that you can get your hands on if that's what you like. The face cam was a bit more of a thing though before we got the new camera. Because it used to go off every 30 minutes, and when you stream for 2 hours, that's a lot of 30 minutes. And I get sucked into what I'm doing and don't notice that it's gone off. So I'm going to do a different one here. I'm going to do there's 2 and then 1. Oh, thank you for popping up my Redbubble merch store, Sal. Appreciate you popping that in for me. Oops. My hands love to do a half double crochet or a half treble, but that's not what we're doing here today, hands. Goodness me. Okie dokie. Oh, come back. Just watching the chat. I really do like this colorway Vampire as well. It is very pretty. It is very pretty. And it was just one of those serendipitous things, like I was at retreat and Jen wanted to do a trade. She'd made a big blanket out of it and had a few balls left over, like 13, and I traded for some hand dyed yarn. And We ordered an extra couple of balls just to beef it out, to make sure there's plenty enough for a good sized blanket. And Abby bags it. Abby was just like, "Oh my gosh!" And then she's like, "I want a blanket like what my cousin." So Abby calls her cousin as well, but she's my cousin. My cousin Rebecca makes these waffle blankets in this yarn all the time, and Abby's always over there under one. And so Abby's like, "I want one of my own to have at home, please, please." So that's how it came about. I'm doing a row that's all half double crochets and have to keep telling my hands not to do double crochets. Yeah, isn't it funny? It's funny how, our muscles and our hands get used to doing a particular kind of stitch, and it's automatically goes into do that particular stitch. So, having those is just, yeah, I struggle myself. I struggle myself. More so with crochet than knitting, truth be told, but yeah, it does happen. And when I'm spinning, like I'm so used to spinning sort of the weight yarn that we've got there, trying to spin consistently thinner or consistently thicker is a lot harder for me. My hands want to do what my hands want to do. So that's why I tend not to spin for a project, and I spin yarn and then the yarn is the whatever. This is the yarn. Find a project now. Don't find projects first, because I'll just be disappointed. So that's plugged in there. Yep, good. I was just double checking. Oh, like I'm double checking for the pattern. I don't need a pattern for this one, so I can move that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, there was a little bit of a difference between the two blues here. You can really see it when they're next to each other. But it's close enough. Some yarn wants to come out the way it wants. I agree. I agree. And you can be bossy if you really want to be. But for me, I find that to be harder work in the spin. And spinning for me is not work. I don't sell my hand spun. So it's not work. It's supposed to be fun and enjoyable. So it gets to be what it wants to be. Otherwise, it makes it harder work for me. It sort of, stomps its foot and has hissy fits. And Francis says, I'm trying to challenge myself to spin finer, but I get anxious that it will split on me. The trick is add more twists. So change if you've got a wheel with ratios, increase the ratio, so get more twists per treadle. And go slowly and have a go. It's the only way you'll learn is to have a go. So you just need to, put fibre to wheel. Worst case scenario is you'll end up with yarn that's a bit thicker, and you can still use that. So yeah, I would say give it a whirl. The thing that I remember when I very first started spinning, and everyone was just like, "Oh my gosh, I miss when I could spin thick like that." And you sort of think, really? Because I want to spin finer and finer and finer. And everyone's like, yeah, once you go fine, it's hard to go back to the thicker yarns. And I think they're right. It is. I find it, I used to like spin a really nice DK. And now I really struggle to get anything thicker than like a 4-ply or a sock weight, which in all honesty, I do tend to use more than a DK, but sometimes you just want that soft, squishy DK to make a nice beanie out of. Um, Let me think. I'm a lazy treadler, so spinning thin is very easy. Okay. Francis says I keep pushing myself regardless. Absolutely. That's how we grow and we learn in every area of our life. You got to keep pushing and keep doing and keep going. That's the only way. I was spinning 4-ply and thinner from about week 3 of spinning. Yeah. And that was your goal, though. You really, really wanted that. For me, I was just like, I just want to spin. I do find that when I'm spindle spinning, I spin much finer. When I'm support spindle spinning, I can do cob weight sort of very easily. But when it comes to spinning on a wheel, I struggle a little more. What have I done here? Oh, I see what I've done. Like an idiot. We won't tell Abby. We'll just keep going. Shh. I know what I did. And now I've jimmied it up to fix it, mostly. It'll probably be like right in her face or something, and she'll be like, what's wrong with this stitch? This single stitch that you didn't front post, you just trebled. Whoops. Whoops. I'm not pulling it back to fix that. Nope. Not on this one. It will barely be noticeable. Except for us looking for it. Chintamani says, I'm constantly amazed at how fast some people get their wheels going. Oh, look, I don't see the point. I'm treadling at a nice relaxed speed. If I want the spinning to go faster, I keep treadling at my relaxed speed and change the ratio. Get some more twist that way. Absolutely. I'm very much a turtle spinner, slow and steady and fine. There you go. Absolutely. So I've got a fresh project for spindle spinning. So I've got my support spindle. So I can use that next time we get that option. And I do have another spinning wheel project, but spinning wheel projects won't come onto this vote because it's too hard to switch to spinning wheel cameras. I tend to, like, on days where I'm going to spinning wheel, I have to have everything totally different. I use different lights. I move everything around. So we can't use the spinning wheel on in the witchcraft game. Are you guys enjoying the witchcraft game, or is it just me? Because, like, I will selfishly keep doing witchcraft game because then I don't have to choose a project until the day. I just need to make sure they're there and that I've got the graphics ready. Like, you know, I'm a selfish crafter. I've made no bones about this. And just keep crocheting. My electric barely goes past halfway on the speed, even when plying, but on my wee Peggy, I can't go fast enough. Wee Peggies, they have some ratios, right? You've got it on your higher ratio. Do wee Peggies have a ratio? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. I'm just thinking about how it looks. Sal says it's a fun way to choose the craft. I think it's a fun way to choose the craft too. And you know, we could stick and stay and do the same project for the whole stream. We totally could. Knitspin Girl says, I like the variety of your projects. Yeah, I try to have a few going. So this is the thing. Hand spinning's supposed to be a slow craft. It's not supposed to be like the Indy 500, okay? So it doesn't need to go fast. You just allow more time to make the yarn. That's all. You want to do it and enjoy it, right? I saw a cool hack for supported spindles. They use an all-in-one ceramic wax melt thingy as a bowl for holding with your legs. I was given a gorgeous thing. It's just here. Hang on. And this is my bowl. So it's got a little bowl for your spindle, and it just fits nicely between your legs. I've seen, and I like that it can stand by itself as well, like it's freestanding too. I've seen others that are like a thin board with a bowl so that it's like sits closer, but I love this. I got given this years and years and years ago for my birthday from Jen Homewood, and it is probably one of my most prized spinning tools. I love this thing. And I use it whenever I'm spinning on the couch, every single time. It makes it so much more comfortable and easy to spindle. How many hours do you estimate Abby's blanket will take? I really like witchcraft. I honestly couldn't tell you how long it's going to take. We are, I could tell you about how far through we are in balls of yarn. Hang on. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're over halfway through the balls of yarn. How long is it? Ooh, it's not going to make it super long blanket if we're over halfway of the balls of yarn. Anyway, we had 20 balls and there's like 9 balls. Oh, 10. We're halfway because it's 10 including this one. Because there's a couple of little half balls in there from another project that I actually was using this yarn for another project and then I'm refrogging it. So we are at the halfway mark. It's kind of fun watching all the different projects progress a little bit. Most of mine have been put on the back burners to make charity blankets ready for a call out for bushfire affected families. That is a beautiful reason to backburn your projects. Honestly, it really is. One of my friends uses a 7-ounce beer glass for her support spindle. There you go. I think my wool working ancestral genetics take over my spinning. They would be spinning for efficiency as if they were paid by quantity, hence I treadle fast. Yeah, no, I spin for enjoyment, not for efficiency. I am with Chantelle on this one. I'm a plod along spinner, but just like anything else, you can do it however you want to do it, as long as you're getting the yarn you like at the end of it. I find if I go too fast, I don't get enough twist and I don't like how it plies. So that's my own personal me going too fast. I've seen other people who spin and ply like the wind and have the most amazing yarns. I just don't think I would get enjoyment out of that. And I spin for pleasure, so I need to have enjoyment out of it, the whole process, not just the end process. I actually feel that way about most of my crafts. I need to enjoy the entire process. And there is and turn. I spin for enjoyment. I'm so glad I don't need to go like the clappers. Yeah, it's a bit like that. But I suppose some people actually enjoy doing it that way as well. So we have to allow for that. It's like I crochet quite quickly. Some people crochet quite slowly and they get great enjoyment out of crocheting quite slowly. I'm not going to judge anyone for the speed that they do something unless they're not getting what they want. Like, unless they're not getting the project they want, the tension they want, they're not getting the yarn they want, then I look at it. But if they're getting what they're happy with, mouth closed. It needs to be enjoyable and hang the time it takes. 6 months for socks. Oh well, there's always next winter. I agree. Yes, absolutely. Game Winner says, I don't need to go fast. I enjoy the spinning, but my default seems to be fast. Yeah, well, then that's how you enjoy doing it. So, but when you're first learning something, I definitely recommend the slower feet. Think of like a nice slow song. Coffee break. Finish my mitt thumb and cast on for the second mitt. Awesome. You've earned your coffee break for sure. For sure. Let me just double check that we're not about to crash and burn or anything. Who knows? Who knows? We could crash and burn at any time. Tea is cold. That was awful. Let's add some hot. It was surprisingly bad. I'm like, no, I did not enjoy that at all. Let me try again. So much better. So much better. Mm. Absolutely. What am I doing here? I'm doing this. Making sure I'm getting the right number of front posts to back post ratio. On this side, it's 2 front posts and 1 back post. Yes, thank you, Chintelle. I appreciate the time check and the reminders. Definitely. I've got at least 5 more minutes of this blanket. Francis says, I've still got an hour left to finish plying this bobbin. Need to remember to only half fill the single. See, that's one of the things I love about my Margicraft is I can have 200 grams on my single, like as the singles, and ply them together as 200, and I can squish it onto a standard bobbin, or it fits easily, like very easily, onto a jumbo bobbin. One thing I will say is I tried to use the little Andean plier tool or bracelet plying tool from Cat and Sparrows for this particular 100 grams. It can't take 100 grams of this weight of yarn. So it was like a 4-ish ply weight of singles. I still had nearly half a bobbin left, and I could not foresee how it was going to fit. So that one is for little bobbins, for ends of bobbins. It's not for whole projects. I was testing it out. It kind of disappointed me, to be honest. I did notice it was short and it had fairly narrow arms compared to my other one. It's like, oh no, they'd make it so you could do 100 grams, you'd think, but no, unfortunately not. I definitely prefer my old timber one that I've got from Nancy's Knickknacks, but I know we can't get them anymore. So I was looking for an alternative to offer because I know how much I love to use mine. It's probably the same reason I like to bracelet ply yarn as I like to do toe up socks, because then I get to use every millimeter. Francis says it's a 200 gram bobbin, but I chain ply very slowly. I chain ply very slowly because I want to get it right, especially if you know, matching color on color and things like that. You want it to be perfect. You've worked very hard to make it so it works. I use your handy Andy for the ends of bobbins. See, I use mine from the start of a bobbin. Like I plan to do mine as a 2-ply like that, but this one is not good for that. Or at least not good for me. I mean, I could have been loading it wrong. I could have been doing a different style than they recommend. I didn't see any video recommendations on how to load it. I just loaded it the same way I load my other one. And I struggled. But I'm sure with the smaller amount of yarn, it would be absolutely perfect. You know when you kind of catch a part of a message out of the corner of your eye and you're like, that sentence could either end positively or negatively. Well, now it's playing on my brain. I'm just like, I caught, like when I was moving the iPad and everything around before, I caught the start of a message I'd received. And it was just like, oh, what does this mean? I need to open it and look. But I'm not going to. I'm going to be very good. I'm going to fight with my brain and resist the urge to check it. It's probably fine. You know what I mean? Like my brain's probably making up some random bad endings and it's probably like totally cool. But yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? Nispin Girl says, I use mine for end of bobbins too, but I hold the handle together with another piece of wood to make it big enough to slip onto my wrist. Been using my Cat and Sparrow Turk. It's very nice. Oh, that's right. She's testing out the new Turkish spindles. I've been seeing how on Instagram. Yeah, I honestly, Knit Spin Girls, this is one of the things I loved about the Andean plying tool from Bob Schroyer. Had the company. Can't think of the name. Anyway, my timber one that I've got, it's big enough. It's designed to do it, and it works, and I can get my, you know, and it has a base that you can actually work directly from that. It was all big enough to not have to worry about adding any extras or anything. So I think maybe I was spoilt by that one because it just is really, really Nancy's Knickknacks. That's where it is. Nancy's Knickknacks. But they don't make them anymore. They're closed as far as I can tell. So, which is really disappointing because they made the most lovely tools. Yes, Nancy, thank you. I saw a very interesting Turk from from Jenkins, it had 3 arms instead of 2. Really? That would be interesting. I would definitely like to have a look at that. Yeah, when I loaded mine up with my nearly full bobbin, there was no way I could get it onto my hand. It was too narrow. So, and that's the thing. I think it was overloaded. And I was only just halfway through my bobbin. So it can't do a whole bobbin, or at least I couldn't get it to do a whole bobbin. I should be careful how I word things. Oh, sorry. I see. I see. You hold the bottom of it and ply off it. You don't move it onto your hand. Yes. Okay. I understand. All right. We've reached the time when this project could be put away, or we could just work on it for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to keep working on it for now. I wonder how long Abby will take to get home. With my Nancy's Knickknacks ones, I just leave it on their thing usually because I put it on the stand so I can have it on the stand next to me and be plying off it, kind of like plying off bobbins. Whereas if I have to hold it, I'd prefer to have it on my wrist so I can double tension and use one hand to help pull, and it's personal preference. Man, I love the feeling of this yarn. Honestly, I never used to like it. I made some bags out of it, and I think I must have been using a hook too small, and because it felt like rope. But I'm like, man, I've got a couple of balls of this stuff in some other colorways floating around. I wonder what I could make, with bigger hook. What have I got here? This is a 5 mil. I think I was working with a 4 mil with it. I think it was just too tight. Now I enjoy it. Don't tell Abby though, because she'll be like, why don't you work on it all the time? And I'm like, because I'm making myself a wardrobe and I need that time too. I only have 2 hands and one brain at the best of times. I botchified one. I will unbotchify it. Wouldn't it be funny if it was the same spot I botched last time? See you later, Sue. Have a great day. It was. It was the same one I botched last time. That's hilarious. Or was it the one next to it? I don't even know. Yep, it's the same. It's kind of funny. Oh no, it's the next one over. It's the next one over. Oh no, I didn't botch it. I just didn't know what I was bloody doing. I'm an idiot. It's all good. Nothing to see here. Because I thought I had to do one front post, but I've got to do 2. I'm still on 2. Alrighty. We're coming up to the end of the row again. How are you all going on your projects? Who here liked Chev's idea of actually making your own project lists and changing when I change? Because that could mean that some weeks we don't change. Like, that's the thing you got to remember. It's not changing every time. Turning. Back to the front. That's the back side, just so you can see how it looks differently. That's the back, which is still textured and lovely. But this is the waffle front. So, yeah. Moving along. Or move along. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. But now I've got some Christmas yarn. Francis says I prefer to work on the one project. Yep, I get it. It's easier on your brain, let me tell you. My hair keeps getting caught in my microphone. Um, yeah, it's easier than switching around all the time. Oh, nothing to see here. Okay, I get it. I get it. Sorry, took me a second. Took me a lot of seconds. I only have one project on the go at the moment. I don't quite know what's wrong with me. I normally have at least three. Okay, I get it. I get it. I look, at the moment I'm feeling overwhelmed by how many projects I have on the go, which is kind of how this whole thing started, was because I've got things I want to work on and things I want to finish, but they're taking longer than I anticipated. Um, so yeah, I've got to sit down and focus on them. But we'll get through them. I mean, we've ticked one off the list. I have my silver top. So that's one we've worked on together. And then once I get through some of the Christmas stuff, I want to make, I've got my Hobie yarns to make some more tops out of. So we'll have to find another top pattern to work on that's got some mindless areas that I can add to the stream. Otherwise, it'll just be stuff I work on outside of the stream. And I'm kind of okay with this. Like, I was worried that I would be overheated with like having to have the second layer on. Um, but I'm all right with it, I think. At least so far. Um, Vampire says, I tend to prefer to work on a project for an hour at a time, but it's fun watching a variety as I work. Ah, that's nice to know as well. Beck says it'd work great if you had a bunch of mindless projects. Yeah, and that's kind of the projects I've chosen for this are those that are not too tricky, that I don't have to worry about. Like if if I'm in a point where it's like round and rounding, and I'm not worried about a design being given away by how I'm working on it. This one's just a technique. It's not. I'm not. I don't think I'm working off a pattern at all. Um, it's just basically a giant swatch. And I just got the idea of the number of stitches that I needed and stuff from some other blankets. But yeah, just I try to, have a few mindless projects. And I think I've got, I mean, one of the socks I'm working on, it's not, I mean, it's becoming mindless as I'm adjusting to it, but because it's a new one, but it's still a little, a little tricky. I need to go shopping for some acrylic yarn. My daughter has requested some finger puppets for Christmas. You can get those packs from Spotlight that have got like the pile of all different colors in little 50-gram balls. Would that be good, or do you want Like, do you need larger amounts? Because they could be a really cool way to get lots of good colors. Francis says, I have many ideas for projects, but only 2 in actual progress. I have so many ideas running through my head that this is actually a lot less. Having the 6 that we have, because we technically have 6 projects that we get to vote from. Plus, I've got a project there ready to frog. I've actually got a little pile of projects to frog, and then also a vote. So that's why we end up with the 8, because of frog and vote. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Yeah, they're those little packs. I sort of look at them and I quite often think, well, what would they really be good for? But I'm thinking that would be perfect. They're like little 20-gram or 25-gram balls of color. Holly says, I've been thinking how you're working on a knitted wardrobe, and I've decided next year my goal is to work on wardrobe pieces for myself. That is an awesome goal. I realized, like for me, I realized that I'm such an avid crafter, and I'd go places and my crafting friends would be wearing their makes and I'd just be in a t-shirt. Oh, thank you for the time reminder, Francis. Um, and like not that I love t-shirts, don't get me wrong, but I realize sometimes I want to be wearing something I made, and this has just opened up my world. And I bought some new clothes for for work and stuff like that. And now these pieces also complement those pieces. So we're nearly at the end of a row, so I'm just going to keep going till I end the row. Um, so yeah, so I'm getting to complement my wardrobe with some knitted pieces, which I'm actually really enjoying. So and they're fun, and they're like just like little classic pieces. I mean, I think they might be timeless. I don't know. We'll see how they go. We'll see how they go. This one I love, and I went with the little I-cord bind off on the sleeves, so I can actually pull it up and it holds its spot if I want, or I can bring it down and it sort of sits looser, and I've got the options. I do prefer to pull it up, truth be told. Um, but yeah, just having the option to make it fit, like, so if your body is a bit longer, being able to make your top just a dash longer. If your body's a bit shorter and your shirts are always too long, you can always just make it a little shorter. Just, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'd like to find another pattern similar to this one that's not quite so boxy around the body. Because while I've been able to adjust the sleeves and make them fit and everything, the rest of the body's quite flowy and big. Because while I've got big arms, my body is well, I should say my arms are non-proportionately big compared to my body. So it means shirts always fit weird. So I want to play with some patterns to try and get the bigger arms on the smaller body so that it's not quite so over flowy. Sometimes flowy's nice, right? But sometimes it just looks like it doesn't fit. I agree. I go to craft group, and apart from scarves, have nothing I've made to wear. So that's where my current projects are heading. Yeah, I love it. I love the idea of having some of your own made things in your own wardrobe. Even if it's just one special thing, like, because I'll be honest, the yarns I'm using in these are a bit more expensive than the yarns I use for my blankets and what have you. Like, my last top was organic cotton, which was so soft. This one's pure silk. It feels like a luxury. In saying that, this was like 160, 180 grams. And I got a whole top out of it for like plus size top. So I do still feel like that's good value. Question off topic. There was a pop-up on my Facebook page about the 20th of November being IKEA World Knit Day. Time was 5 to 6 in the sofa section. Have you heard of this before? I have heard of it. I've never seen it, never attended it, but I have heard of it. I'd be very curious to see if it runs in Australia. I'd also be curious to see if IKEA know anything about it. Like they just randomly have these people just turn up and hang out in the sofa sections, taking up all the seating, so their customers can't actually test and sit a sofa. I don't know how they'd feel about it, but yes, I have actually seen that as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to go just to see. I mean, I do have an IKEA very close to me. It would not be a special trip. We are so close to the end of the row. We're nearly there. It's like a dozen stitches, maybe. I appreciate you all hanging out with me while I finish off this row. IKEA is always a special trip. I mean, yeah, right. IKEA is a special place, but we do have our craft meet up there now twice a month as well. So it's kind of like my car just knows how to get there. Got my favorite parking bay. Am I the only person who has a favorite parking bay when they go to different places? Like I've got my favorite parking bay when I go grocery shopping. I've got my favorite parking bay for when I go to IKEA. All right, we have made it to the end of the row. Let's bundle this up so that next time it's got its hook and everything is all there. We should quickly measure it. Let me just quickly measure how long it is because we are at about the halfway mark of the yarn. Okay. Turning it around so it's a bit flatter. It is at 68 centimeters. So 120 long, that won't be too bad. 130, that's fine. We might get a little more. We might not. Back in you go into your little spot. Oh. IKEA's like a 3-hour drive. I'm tied to my wheel for another 30 minutes anyway. It's like that when you're plying, isn't it? You kind of get stuck there and it's like, I live here now. I just live here. Guys and ladies, it has been awesome having you here hanging out with me, telling me which crafts to work on. We worked on the Angora mink cowl. We knitted some socks and we crocheted some blanket. It is awesome. It was awesome, and I'm so glad I got to touch all those fibers and yarns in one session, which I absolutely love. I'm in love with this top, honestly. I really like it. I blocked it overnight, so it's its first try on and wear out. So we'll see how it goes. I will catch you all here next Thursday, and I think the following weekend is our productivity stream. So be keeping an idea of like some projects for you to work on during a productivity stream. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on. I probably got something I need to do. So, yeah. Have an awesome week. Enjoy your craft time. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye now.